And so we have reached the ending of the Adventure Tri marathon for at least a week or so before the final film comes out. Yay? Throughout this marathon, I've seen the movie start off on a decent note, then crash and burn in the next two installments, and then the fourth movie left me feeling really apathetic towards it. Well, that and a bunch of Digimon mistakes, like me saying Yggdrasil was a Digimon, even though it's really not. Yeah, that's pretty bad on my part. Speaking of bad, though, my last experience with this film prior to the review was a pretty loathsome one with my friends and I. So there's that.
The movie literally moved me!
So how about we just begin this film and see if it's just as bad as that last experience I had with it. So our film begins in 1999, likely sometime after the events of the first Digimon Adventure, where Mei and Meikumon are in the forest playing hide and seek or something before we see a feather in Meikumon's area after she's found. Now, this is where things get messy for a bit. See, this movie explains later on that Meikumon was created from a shard of Apoclumon's data, aka the final boss of the first Adventure series, and it's always been an unstable one. And while that would explain why Meikumon has these destructive abilities, as well as losing its mind due to being separated from Mei and/or being scared, though I still find that fucking stupid that it just randomly turned evil in the second movie's ending, but whatever. It barely explains the infection problem it had in the first three films. See, if it was the source of the infection, why didn't it spread 6 years ago in story? This film showcases Meikumon losing its mind in a flashback, yet the infection didn't spread after that? I find that really hard to believe. Hell, it never became a problem after that point? Well, apparently not, since we don't see any other past instance of this for the rest of the flashback. So, yeah, apparently it only happened once in that lab prior to Tri. Okay. Oh, right, that whole exposition scene talking about Meikumon's origin later on presents another story issue in the movie, but I'll get to that when I get there. So Mei Cragmon's a thing again, and despite Mei shouting at her to stop, Mei Cragmon's like, "Now, bitch," and tries to kill her. I thought you only transformed because you saw Mei quote-unquote die. Why aren't you calming down now that you see that she's alive? Oh, right, no, the Pokemon data is preventing that from happening. Silly me. So wait, why isn't it trying to kill Genai then? If it really is insane, what's to stop it from killing him, right? Plot armor? Dipshit doesn't do much in this movie, so fuck him. But nah, let's just have it try and kill Mei and then fuck off after failing to do that. You know, Genai's probably still on the ship or nearby. You could probably kill him. No? You're just gonna ignore him? Okay, fuck you too. So as a result of the evolution, it opens up rifts in the digital world, and the Digimon begin to enter said rifts, ending up in the real world, and everything begins to go to shit again. Oh, you mean like the third movie? Gee, it's almost like what happened in the third movie should have happened in this movie or something, save for the worthless reboot. But unlike the third movie, I'm okay with it happening here. Why? Because in terms of story progression, this makes sense. This is the penultimate act of the series. It's expected for everything to go to hell so that in the climax they can fight the source of all this destruction and then end the series on a happy note, or at least end it with the defeat of the source. This thing is known as rising action if you know about your plot diagrams and shit, where it keeps the viewers on edge as the problem gets worse for the characters, and makes you wonder how they're going to get out of it. Samurai Jack's final season had this with episode 9, and a lot of the later Power Rangers series have this in the first part of the finales. It's an effective way to get people excited for the climax of the series, which is why I have an issue with that being done in the third movie of this 6-movie series. Everything going to shit and progressively getting worse for our heroes is something that most good stories don't let happen in the middle of it. If the examples I gave above happened in the middle of their series and did it again near the end of the series, it would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it? It's basically the equivalent of having 2 climaxes in a story, and I don't understand the point of it in movies, especially since most of the time, the second climax is basically the same as the first, but with really minor differences. And well, why not just remove the first climax and use that time to build up towards the now main climax instead? It just feels like a waste of time, honestly, and I just don't understand the point of it. I know it sounds like a minor complaint, but this is something that could have been fixed really fucking easily. Anyways, this whole tangent about basic plot diagrams went on for far too fucking long, so let's just get back on topic, shall we? So after the scene of digital mayhem, Hackmon, a guy I didn't mention in the last review because all he did was give exposition, shows up to, what a shock, give more exposition! Hooray! Basically, all he states during the scene is the origin of Meikumon, which I already covered, so I'm not going to repeat it here, as well as stating that Mei and her are partners for the sake of keeping Meikumon's powers in balance, and even the movie admits that the purpose doesn't mean much when Meikumon goes crazy, since it doesn't even care about Mei in that form. Yeah, it's nice to see the movie admit that Mei's only purpose in this series is pretty much worthless when Meikumon goes crazy. Just lovely. Great. Speaking of lovely, we also find out that since the reboot failed to suppress it, only now has Homeostasis decided to kill Meikumon. So, let me get this straight. The reboot failed miserably to stop it, and instead of sending out a threat to kill it when it's weak and still has the power to infect in the last movie, you only decide now, when everything is fucked, to kill it. That is really dumb, movie.
Yeah, we could have killed it when it popped up again in the real world, but since it was apparently suppressed despite clear signs of the distortion still being there in the last movie, we just couldn't do anything about it. Sorry.
You're a fucking idiot.
Hell, here's a genius idea. When you rebooted the world, maybe, I don't know, destroy a Pokemon. After all, that shard is likely the reason for Mekumon's insanity, and you admit that it has a shard of a Pokemon inside it. No Pokemon? No Mekumon, or at least that shard. Or hell, if that doesn't work, maybe send someone to purify Mekumon of her insanity/darkness and remove the threat of the distortion and her infection instead of killing it. There. But hey, I get it. After all, there's clearly no Digimon out there that could do that, let alone destroy a being of darkness. Oh, wait. Yeah, Angelwoman in her first fucking appearance destroyed Myotismon in the original series with a holy arrow of light through his chest, and she potentially has other attacks that could potentially kill or purify the Pokemon shard, let alone the darkness inside Mekumon. Just do that. There! Helen has a lot of darkness and crap inside of Mekumon, so we could freeze her in place with that same air attack she used in the first series before she fires the holy fucking arrow. And even if it is stronger than Angelwoman, it could at least potentially purify the infection/chaos inside her, or at least a bit of it, and there you go. Or hell, another silly fucking idea. Maybe have it fail, and then require her to digivolve into a Phanimon to finish the job. Oh, but I hear you cry. How would that work if the poster has fallen down mode on it? Well, maybe have Mekumon be purified, have Homeostasis or Yggdrasil if you absolutely have to have him in the movie, be pissed at this and infect a Phanimon, turning a Phanimon into a fallen angel/fallen down mode, powered by the two individuals, or one, either or, and have that be the final boss of the fucking series, and have Mei/Mekumon be involved in saving Gatomon since Kari and Gatomon saved her in this situation. Just saying that there were literally hundreds of ideas before or after the fourth movie this guy could have went with that might have worked better than sitting on their asses and not doing anything about the problem until it's too late, and or sending someone who, as this movie will show, can't even defeat Mekumon in its mega form. Even then, this makes me wonder, was the only purpose of including Homeostasis and Tri just to make it an antagonist for our heroes to stop? Really? You got enough fucking bad guys, movie. Stop it! Christ, I can make a whole what if video out of that scenario alone. Actually, that might not be a bad idea. Would you guys like to see a what if on this channel of what if they tried the Holy Arrow and Mekumon in this movie? I'll put a poll up top as well, but now I'm legit curious to hear responses on this. Anyways, Homeostasis, stupidity, and all the other crap I said above aside, we cut to Mei, what a shock, crying again about Mekumon. Christ, we're 5 movies into this shit, and all Mei has really done in the last couple has been sitting on her ass and crying about Mekumon. Yeah, because that makes me want to like Mei more. Crying about her problems instead of trying to do something about it. No, instead her friends are the ones who have to take action as they remind Mei, again, that Mekumon matters to her, to not abandon her, that they're friends, and all this advice that Mei has pretty much ignored up to this point in the series. And yet, in this movie, it actually works. She does start to slightly grow as her own person. Yeah, I'm serious. Great! Finally! It only took you 4 fucking movies to do that! But fine, I'll take it! And yeah, outside of Mei and Tai, the other characters don't really add much to this movie, and Climax is really boring/interesting as well. Even Kari, despite being possessed by homeostasis, suffers the issue as well. So yeah, character element isn't all that great in this movie outside of this two. Great. Fucking lovely. So Mei/Mon attacks some facilities in the real world. Genai sends the Digidestined into the real world so that they can experience despair or some crap. This is like one of the only few fucking things he does in this movie, by the way. He is so worthless. And they're taken in by the police. This guy chews them out over the Digimon disappearing and that they're evil. They say that they are. Basically, this goes on for some time until Daigo shows up and does something other than contribute to Hackmon's exposition attack, and that is take them out of custody and put them in the school for the time being. He tells them that Homeostasis wants to kill Mekumon, despite again not doing anything in the last fucking movie to deal with the problem, despite he clearly still being able to infect, and we saw the fucking distortions. And then we cut to later that night where they spend about 10 minutes telling ghost stories and crap before they talk about how they'll say Mekumon and all that fucking jargon. And while I do take issue with the pacing, there is a thing I like about this scene, and that is when Mei and Tai have some time to themselves to talk about their bonds with their Digimon and the like. It's a nice scene between the two, helped by the two individuals having good chemistry with the other on screen, and the dialogue from Tai's end about stuff you can't see as an adult and vice versa is also pretty decent given the theme of growth and the Digidestined's issues with the future as seen in the series thus far. It might be a short scene, but it does a good job with the two characters in question. So while the 10 minutes I mentioned does have pacing issues like the rest of the fucking movie, there is one scene in it that I do like. So yeah, another small positive in this movie. And hey, another positive comes up not too long after that. Mei stands up to Mei/Mon and blames herself for what happened, taking responsibility and action in the same scene. Alright, yes! My opinion of her is starting to get better with this. She's showcasing that she's grown and isn't going to cry anymore about Mekumon. This is really good! Too bad they fucking ruined it in the next scene by having them question if by attacking Mei/Mon again, they'll potentially become infected, even though there wasn't any infections in the last fucking movie, and yeah, fucking spoiler alert, they don't become infected in this either. Almost like they abandoned the whole infected Digimon idea in favor of distortions. Now it's time for a fight scene after an almost minute-long evolution sequence. Fuck off. And yeah, the animation is just okay in this. I'm just gonna flat out state it. While the character models look really weird at points or just flat out ugly, it still flows decently and everything else works about it, so it's like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna hate on the animation. I've talked enough about it in this marathon. It's just about the same in terms of quality, so I'm just gonna move on. I just figured I'd address that because probably one of the only good things about this fucking battle scene. I'm gonna say it right now. So Hackmon shows up in his Mega form and kills Mekumon, finally. What the fuck took you so long? But Mekumon goes into their Mega form and turns into this weird looking thing. Also, apparently Homeostasis wanted them to protect Mekumon, and then they begin to question who their true enemy and all this is. And honestly, I'm asking the same thing. Is Mekumon the main bad guy of this? Is it Yggdrasil? Dark Genai? Is it Homeostasis itself? We're 5 movies in and they can't seem to make up their fucking minds on who they want the primary antagonist to be, and it gets worse by the end of this movie, my friends. It's almost like you shouldn't have kept making new bad guys for each movie and just focused on the ones you had or something. Fancy fucking that. And even if they want to pull the whole Yggdrasil and Homeostasis are both wrong card, it doesn't negate the issue that this film series has way too many fucking antagonists, and or that all of them are bland so interesting. Christ! Even some of the Monster of the Week villains in Adventure 1 were more interesting than these guys, and that is fucking sad, because these are antagonists we're supposed to be taking seriously. Fuck! So they have their stupid fucking fight. Jesmon's about to fall on Mei, but then Mekumon saves her. No, I'm sorry. What? She literally tried to kill her earlier in the movie, and earlier when Mei was talking to her, she went apeshit instead of calm down. No movie, I am not buying this shit at all. But hey, if we don't have this scene, then they can't fight against Jesmon, and it would just be these two fighting. So screw that. Let's have the Digidestined fight against Jesmon and let Kari be possessed by Homeostasis again before Kari somehow overpowers it and gains control again. Also, Dark Genai's here for some reason. No, it's not explained how. Also, let's just have Mekumon be taken into the digital world instead of just killing her then or using an attack to deal with the other Megas, because as a messenger of balance and stability, Jesmon apparently likes to overcomplicate things. Yeah, good job at killing Mekumon, Homeostasis. You should be fucking proud. So they get back to the digital world. Jesmon is overpowered by Mekumon's Mega. Again, great job, Homeostasis. And then fights Omegamon for a bit before Alphamon shows up for some goddamn fucking reason and fights the two. Yeah, it's not explained why the fuck Alphamon shows up or even why Alphamon wants to defend Mekumon now despite wanting to kill it in the first movie, except maybe that was working for Yggdrasil for no reason since it's never got him answered. But who cares? Let's have them fight Jesmon instead of have a rematch with Omegamon because we need a Yggdrasil versus Homeostasis battle for some goddamn reason. So we cut to Maki in the Dark Ocean for some goddamn reason. And also they fucked up her gun in this shot. The last scene with her in it, it was a stupid looking rifle, and now it's a regular pistol. Consistency! Like Jesmon / Homeostasis, it sucks at its job. And before you ask, no, her scene doesn't bear much importance to the overall story, it's just her going crazy again. So yeah, nice use of your runtime movie. So they fight some more, Mei gets whiny again, and then they get pissed when Mei and Tai agree to kill Mekumon. Guys, are you fucking serious? You had no qualms with killing Imperial Dramon in the second movie and fighting Ken before you knew with Genai, so why is this stopping you? Did you forget Imperial Dramon was the DNA digivolution of Davis and Ken's Digimon and he dissipated into nothing? So why complain now? Especially when you were, oh gee, I don't know, ally / friends with Davis and Ken and their Digimon. But now it's only bad here because Mekumon's Mega protected Mei that one time, and that instantly means it cares about Mei now and shouldn't be killed. Wormon and V, whatever, fuck them and their partners. We got a cat to save. Fuck off, movie. Also, did you guys just fucking forget what happens to a Digimon when it receives a fatal wound, or what happened to Angemon after he sacrificed himself in the original series? It can be reborn as a Digi-Egg. Even then, you are literally putting the fate of the world at risk to protect a Digimon that they have seen for themselves come back after a goddamn reboot. If it can survive that, it can come back as an egg, and even if it can't, you are literally risking the world ending just to protect one Digimon. Did you forget what happened the last time you ignored the sake of the world for your own selfish desires? The world got fucking rebooted. So yeah, movie, you can take this existential crisis of killing Mekumon and shove it. So Jesmon finally decides to try and kill Mekumon, but Alphamon fucks it up and nukes a bunch of the area. Tai is quote-unquote killed, Mekumon is knocked unconscious, and Kari gets possessed by some crap. And no, it's not Homeostasis because it's a different glow, so I guess it might be Homeostasis and Yggdrasil's will combined. Her Digimon turns into Fallen Down mode, Digivolves with Mekumon's Mega to make a fusion, and then comes out as this fucking thing. What the hell am I looking at? Yeah, so, let's run a tally on how many bad guys we have now in this series. We have Dark Genai, Yggdrasil, maybe Homeostasis, Jesmon, Alphamon, and now this fusion called Ordinmon, all of which are still around, and all of which haven't been stopped. And this is how the movie ends, folks, with Ordinmon going into the real world to try and merge it together. We're 5 movies in, we have one final movie, so now they're going to have 5 more bad guys to potentially deal with, stop Ordinmon and their plans to merge the 2 worlds, stop the infected Digimon threat, and deal with any remaining plot threads in the final arc that this film couldn't answer, like what happened to the 02 kids, why Genai turned evil potentially, why it would take the identity of the Emperor, what the fuck happened to Maki, what'll happen to Mei and all this other shit, and the other Digidestined, and their futures. Potentially. All because they couldn't simply stick with 1 or 2 fucking antagonists, and in way too many scenes that came off as unnecessary padding. Oh boy. fuck this movie. The story is idiotic, the characters, save for Tai and Mei, are flat and uninteresting, and the audio is one of the only few positives of this fucking movie. But then again, the other films have good soundtracks, so it's not even a unique trait this movie has. While it did make me apathetic at the end like with the third movie, and it certainly did a better job at handling the rising action, it is far from a good movie in my opinion. It is really close to the bottom of this list for me because of all the shit that went down in this movie as well as everything else building up to it. It makes me really wonder how the sixth movie is going to handle all of this, because that's the finale, folks. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the final movie in the Tri series isn't going to answer any of these questions and or will have a disappointing conclusion because of all that went down with this fucking crap fest and everything else before it, but we'll see what happens next week. I will try and go into future with an open mind despite how hard that will be, because at the end of the day, I need to give the movie a fair shake. I will judge it as a finale to the whole Tri series, and if it succeeds or fails, I will try to let you know. Pity that I'm ending the marathon on such a low note for this series. I liked Digimon growing up, even if I was a casual fan, so it's kind of a shame to see something I liked as a kid get treated this fucking poorly. There are better Digimon series out there that tell a much better story and have much better pacing and all this other shit than this series, and even better solo movies out there that will give you more bang for your buck than this series. Digimon Tamers, Digimon Frontier, Valley of the Wind, Boy and the Beast. Hell, if you want live action, Creed was way more interesting than this shit. There are hundreds of alternatives than Tri out there for people who grew up with the original adventure back in the 90s, and I really do recommend seeking those out instead of this, because even as a casual fan, I was really let down by these movies. And I guess that's the thing with becoming an adult. Tastes change, and some of the things you never noticed as a child become more noticeable to you as an adult. But, you know what? I don't regret watching Tri for this marathon. While it took its toll on me as time went on, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't fun tearing this final movie apart or giving ideas on how to potentially improve certain bits. It's actually kind of why I wanted to change up the format for this review, because the story just pissed me off so much that I just wanted to rip it to fucking pieces. And besides, finding out and analyzing why something is bad makes me appreciate the things that I love more and more. Like the movies and media I consider my favorites out there, or spending time with my friends or the woman I love after watching something really crappy. So that concludes this marathon. I hope you enjoyed this little look at the Tri movies, minus the final one, which isn't out yet. And if your first experience with my channel was through this marathon, I really do hope you stick around for more anime/animated reviews from me in the future. My next video will either be the What If you guys would like that, or the final movie in the Tri series, and after that, well, you might be given a little clue as to what that will be shortly. So until we meet again, I'm David Grimm, and thank you for watching. 一人ではとやしてを夜明けのままでかよすゆで